Welcome to Tamar Bowling Video Ball Reviews. For exclusive content, please join us at patreon.com/tamerbowling. I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Pureit Bowling. Visit our partner pureitbowling.com and use the special code TAMER when making a purchase to be entered into a monthly drawing. Hey Tamar Bowling fans, welcome to another installment of our tutorial series. Today I want to cover surface changes and how they affect ball motion. This is part 2 of the series, and we're using a strong ball today, the Motiv Trident Abyss. And the intent is to show you the transition through surface changes. And this is less about the ball per se and more about how strong solid asyms would react to a surface change. As mentioned in part 1, there are a lot of nuances and our sport can be complicated. Again, a lot of factors affect what you see. There's the bowler and their specs, speed, revs, tilt, rotation. There's lane, topography, surface, age, lane patterns, long, medium, short, you name it. And the ball itself, cover strength and core strength. So we try to normalize all of that other stuff and simply look at the impact of cover stock finish on lane play. And here we went with a strong top line asymmetric solid. I'm the bowler. You guys have seen me in all of my reviews. The lefty, medium speed, medium revs, about 10 degrees of tilt, 6 degrees of axis rotation, give or take. And the patterns are normal, fresh house shot, 40 feet, 23 units of oil, and we're using DigiTrax as the CAT software. Jumping right in, we polished the Trident Abyss to start through our progression. We used the Step 2 type compound to give it some polish, but keeping some underlying grit. But right away, it's very tricky for me. Surprisingly, the ball doesn't really want to shape. It seems to dislike the polish on this fresh shot. And bear with me because you'll see the sweet spot is really nice later on. With polish, the ball had to be played very directly. DigiTrax says I'm generating 5.8 degrees of entry angle with a break point at 39 feet at the 6th board. To my eye, this surface gave me no error room at all. It neutered the strong ball regardless of what DigiTrax might show you on one perfect shot. So I wanted to move straight away on from this finish to get some airbalon on it, and I started at 4,000. This finish was night and day from the polish. Instantly the ball read 1 or so feet earlier and went through the nose. I moved something like 6 with my feet and 3 at the arrows, and now the ball's generating 6.7 degrees of entry angle with a breakpoint distance 1.5 feet longer at the 7 board. Still, I wasn't feeling like this is the surface the cover preferred. Moving on to 2000, and now I think we're in business. This is clearly where this ball wants to be. Why? It seems that the surface finish is matching up to the cover and core strength just right to make it explosive. This is a smooth but deceptively strong piece. It's not super obvious, but DigiTrax showed an average of 7.6 degrees of entry angle with a breakpoint distance right around 41.5 feet at the 7 board. The ball seemed to have the most room here and just really wanted to turn over. I might typically say over 7 degrees is a lot, but it didn't feel uncontrollable in this instance. This is most definitely a sweet spot in my eyes for this particular strong, solid asym. So let's keep going and see what happens next. On to the 1000 grit finish. I have to say that at this finish, the ball had decent miss room. It still rolls heavy through the pins, and that's something not obvious on DigiTrax. 18 to 7 or 20 to 9. There was room there. Entry angle kicks down a bit to around a more sane 6 degrees, which makes sense as you move the breakpoint in. Now the breakpoint distance is nearer to 43.5 feet at the 9 board. It looks like 1,000 to 2,000 for the Abyss is right where it wants to be, with 2,000 being the stronger back-end motion, while 1,000 being the stronger mid-lane control motion. Make sense so far? Alright, moving on to the last step at 500 grit, and here you see, just like we saw with the High Road X surface tutorial, 500 actually caused us to move back left. Too much energy is depleted from the deeper position for the ball to make it up the hill. However, moving back between 15 to 17 at the arrows yielded a strong motion, but one that I psychologically felt like I had to press a bit This amount of surface is not needed in this scenario, but to show you what happens, you get a bit left. The break point goes down a bit to around 43 feet at the 8 board. We did actually pick up entry angle again to around 6.5 as we move left. And if you think about it, you basically have the core that's starting up a bit sooner, allowing the ball to drive harder, while you have little less energy depletion from side to side motion since we straightened out a touch. Alright, so what did we learn? With the Motiv Trident Abyss as the strong asym solid test mule, the sweet spot appears to be 1,000 to 2,000 grit as opposed to the 4,000 to 3,000 that we saw on the medium benchmark type High Road X from Storm. This Abyss is a torquier asymmetric core. It's more dense and what I call center heavy, low RG. So in the solid, it just seemed that giving the cover some teeth matched the time the core turned over, which amplified the move down lane. When the timing of this transition isn't matched, the ball reaction doesn't appear to be ideal. And again, this isn't about the Abyss specifically, it's just a bit of information to think about. So surface changes reaction time. In other words, how long before friction takes over. The core dynamics are dictated by the shape and the RG of the core. I mean, there's more to it, but simply the core dynamics dictate when the core turns over into its preferred spin axis. And if you match the timing of those two on a particular condition, you get a sweet spot of amplification. And that was clear on the Abyss at 1,000 to 2,000 grit. So there you have it. Hopefully this video gave you some insight into how surface changes affect a strong, solid asym. Also, remember that a video with just music and all strikes cannot translate the nuances of ball reaction. Neither can throwbots, as humans bowl, not machines. We make mistakes. We need to understand misroom. Take it all in, but information is power. Good luck and good bowling.
I need to tell you to what damn bowling ball reviews